Hey, welcome to the very first episode of my YouTube page. I hope you like it. If you, since you're new to the page, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Um, on my show, we will be talking WWE, TNA, ROH. We'll be covering news all over. Uh, First piece of news that we have today is Big Cass has suffered a seizure at one of the hardcore wrestling events held by Tommy Dreamer. I have just found out that Big Cass was set to compete at the House of Hardcore event in Philadelphia, but he suffered a seizure and things took an unexpected turn for him. He was taken to the hospital for further evaluations. People have tweeted that he was awake. He was responding. That he was talking, but they still ended up rushing him to the emergency room. They're still talking about Big Cass, or they're still talking about Braun Strowman not competing at TLC. They do believe that if he is not able to compete, that they would bring in Bray Wyatt to do some kind of an angle with the storyline, which would then possibly involve Braun Strowman coming down, giving one power slam and winning the match, which then would cause Braun Strowman to win and Baron Corbin to not be general manager anymore. Who would be the general manager? I'd like to hear what you guys have to say in the comment room. Thanks, Chris, for subscribing. If you all are following, I would like you to go over to the Chris Peep Show. He has a YouTube page. He's dedicated wrestling fan, and he set up a page all about wrestling. So if you have time and you love WWE news and you love TNA news, and just take a minute, go over and subscribe to the Chris Peep Show. He actually helped me get ideas to do my first YouTube video, which is today. This is the premiere. I hope that you like the show. I would like feedback. This is a wrestling show all about you guys. It has nothing to do with me. It's all about you. In other news, I have seen that with Rhino, with the storyline with WWE, they did actually fire him. They fired him from Raw, so people thought that he was going to go to SmackDown. Well, I guess he is not coming back at all. He's decided to retire. He told WWE, just use this as a way of getting me off TV. I do not want to be a part of the show anymore. I would love to see Kurt Angle come back. He's done great things as commissioner. They really didn't use him the right way. They were having him as a general manager plus a superstar, so that kind of made it weird. Bringing Mick Foley back, I could honestly see Mick Foley doing it, but I think he's actually gotten out of the business. I think he wants to do writing. He wants to become a writer, and his books are going real good. So if you're new, please hit the subscribe button if you're liking what's going on. Uh, they have announced a segment for Jeff Hardy for SmackDown. It's saying that Jeff Hardy's history with substance abuse is something he might never live down. This is especially true if he remains in WWE, which is a company that just loves to bring up the past like that. Which honestly, WWE needs to stop bringing up Jeff Hardy's past. Yes, he's done bad things, but we've all done bad things. Nobody is perfect. I don't know why they keep bringing up his past. If they were so concerned about Jeff Hardy's past, then why did they hire him back on? That's my feeling. If you're going to bring up his past and you're going to have Samoa Joe do an angle, which, okay, Samoa Joe is doing real good. I understand that. Samoa Joe really is really to the point where they're actually using him right. But they need to quit bringing up people's past. Jeff Hardy's made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. WWE, for some reason, loves to attack people's past. But apparently, hold on a second. Sorry about that. But apparently, Jeff Hardy is going to be on SmackDown to talk about the incident with Samoa Joe. If I'm not mistaken, they're going to start with the fight with him and Randy again. I have heard news that Tribute to the Troops is coming up. I think it is the 20th of this month. And I have learned that Roman Reigns is going to be there. Now, if he's going to be on camera, that's a whole different topic. But right now, from what I've learned from my sources, Roman Reigns is going to be at Tribute to the Troops. It's already been recorded. I have seen some pictures from it. It really isn't all that great. I used to like Tribute to the Troops when they went overseas and did it for the troops. I like that they come back to the United States and they're doing it here. But they need to make it longer. Not just an hour show that's a lot of commercials. They need to make the show longer. If you're doing a tribute to the troops, that should be, in my opinion, they should take the 3 hours from Raw, cut that out, and have it where we're doing a tribute to the troops thing. We should do a tribute to the troops twice a year. One around Christmas time, since some troops cannot be with their family. And then they should do it the 4th of July, when we did our independence as a country. Yeah, Chris, I can see the Samoa Joe versus Jeff Hardy at TLC. It would be a good match. And if they, in my opinion, they should put Joe over, because yeah, we do have Jeff Hardy, we do have his issues, we do have everything surrounding him. But I honestly think it's about time that Jeff Hardy decides to hang up the boots, because I think when he hangs up his wrestling attire, they would finally induct the Hardy Boys into the Hall of Fame, which I believe that they should be in. So should the Dudley Boys, because they reinvented the tag team division. We never saw a tag team division so good as we did when we started having the tag team tables, ladders, and chair matches. those things really did for the business than anything else. Now back to this tribute to the troops. I think if we do the tribute to the troops twice a year, we should make those 3 hours long. Those should be the only WWE events that are 3 hours besides WrestleMania. Which I've heard rumors that with how they want to do the pre-show and stuff, that it's actually becoming a whole day thing, which in my opinion, I could not stand and watch wrestling a whole entire day. That would be just it's a waste of time. And what can you do or what can you say that would keep people interested for, let's say, 8-10 hours? You can't. They're having problems with Raw. It's only 3 hours. They're having problems writing materials. For the last 2 weeks, Raw has tanked. Their ratings are lower than they've ever been. I blame some of that on Vince, on writing it himself, not hiring a good writing team that he needs, and also putting it at 3 hours because of the simple fact you can't really do a over 2 hour show with material. And what I mean by that is you're going to start getting people to where they're like, okay, it's the same crap like they're doing now. Every week you're watching something that's the same, whether it's the matches, the interviews, anything like that. I think what they need to do is drop it down to about an hour. Okay? Because if you bring the hour back, you'll start getting people's attentions again. They'll say, okay, you cutting it down so that way you can be interested again. Because they're just pushing all their fans away. Let's see, what other news do I have? Alexa Bliss has announced that she is going to do a press conference. When, she hasn't really said anything about it. She just announced that she is going to have a press conference. The Ronda Rousey match, I honestly believe they need to get rid of Ronda Rousey as a champion. Because in my opinion, yes, I like Ronda Rousey, but it's basically what they did with The Rock. The Rock is a big name. So what does he do when he comes back? They automatically hand him the championship. Rousey, big name in UFC, comes over, they give her the championship. Which in all honesty, she's a good fighter. She loves the kids. She loves the fans. But she has not earned it. She has not done the blood, the sweat, and the tears that every female in that back locker room ever did. Look at women like Lita or Trish Stratus. I could go all the way back to Luna Vachon, Mae Young, Fabulous Moolah. They didn't come in and handed a title. They worked for it. They earned it. They bled for it. They sweat for it. And here comes Ronda Rousey, who's already making a lot of money from the UFC. She comes in and, since you signed with us, we're going to give you a title shot. Oh, since you signed with us, we're going to give you a title. To me, that's just basically spitting in the face of all the women wrestlers that came before, saying, hey, we want the viewership, but we don't really care about the titles anymore. I do want to announce that over the week, we've lost 2 real good, in my opinion, legends in professional wrestling. They should be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I don't know why they haven't been. I do believe one of them was, but I'm not too sure. Larry the Axe Hennig, we have passed away this week. And we also lost Dynamite Kid. Dynamite Kid, yes, he had problems in WWE or WWF at the time. He did have a bad history of drug abuse. But that still shouldn't really take him away from being in the Hall of Fame for what he had done. That's like, I know people would say, but what about Benoit? One, you can't compare him to Benoit. His career was good. Benoit, yes, I understand that that's a sore subject for some wrestling fans. They don't like Benoit. Honestly, I liked him as a wrestler. As a person behind the scenes and what he did, that's unforgivable. I know WWE is slowly trying to get him back into their programming and everything, but I honestly think that could, if they brought Benoit completely in, that could ruin their business completely to the point where nobody would watch. I don't think he should be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, Hall of Fame material, no. Chris Jericho has had behind the scenes talk with Impact Wrestling. If I can find it again, I forget who it was, did an interview with him, and he has stated that he is done, completely done with the list. Yes, I know that's sad news, but he stated that in an actual interview that he does not see the list being irrelevant anymore. So no matter what promotion he goes to, he even said he could go back to WWE, walk in the door, and know exactly how to get those fans to either cheer him or boo him. But he has stated that that list of Jericho would never happen again. He does not see it following him anymore. And with his band, I really don't see him I really don't see Jericho going back to WWE because of his schedule with his band Fozzy. I could see him going to Impact Wrestling where it might be a lighter workload, but if he goes over there, look at the viewership that Impact could possibly take away from WWE. The impact that he would take from WWE because he joined TNA, that would probably not only piss McMahon off, but possibly make McMahon becomes panicked. I'd like to know what you guys think. Do you think if Jericho went to TNA Impact We know it would take away the viewership for WWE, but would that put Vince McMahon into panic mode? And what would he do to try to get out of panic mode? Me personally, I think he would try to do whatever it takes to steal more talent away from Impact. But look how that's been going. He's been stealing talent from Impact and using them crappily. The only two superstars still, to my opinion, that he used good from TNA was AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. On TNA, he's using EC3, but he's not making it to EC3's potential. EC3 could do more, could do better. Instead of bringing these guys to NXT, they've already made a name for themselves. Bring them straight to the main roster. Let them do whatever they want to do. I know Vince does not like giving them creative control, but give it to them. Let them go with what they think their characters should go with. I think if you give your superstar creative control, then it's on them whether they sink as a superstar or if they rise to the top and deserve a title shot. Here you got McMahon giving the same people title opportunity after title opportunity after title opportunity. When are the new guys going to get it? That's been something that Vince McMahon has struggled with for years. He has struggled with it with Hulk Hogan. He has struggled with it with Bret Hart. He struggled with it with Shawn Michaels. He struggled with it with Triple H. The list goes on. Yes, he gives some talent opportunities. But if he finds out that they can't do it or they can't cut the mustard, they never get another title shot again. I remember back when I was growing up, the Intercontinental Championship was the working title. The only way you got that is through blood, sweat, and tears because they couldn't take the title off of Hulk Hogan because he was their top draw. If you look back in the wrestling days, Hulk Hogan held the title more times than anybody else did. From the time he entered WWE all the way to when he retired. Now, would it break Bruno Sammartino's record? No. Wouldn't even touch it. But their go-to person was Hogan. They tried putting it on Warrior. Didn't work. They had it on Macho Man. Year only. They put it on Andre. 30 seconds? 8 seconds? He had the title for? It was vacated for, almost a year? That was vacated for? They tried putting it on Sergeant Slaughter. We saw how that happened. They tried to patch the torch to Ultimate Warrior. Look at where that went. Their go-to guy was Hogan. Now, Vince needs to stop that of having one person as champion. You had your John Cena. You had your Roman Reigns. Get somebody that you wouldn't expect to be main event material and build on that. That's my opinion on how they should treat that championship. They should give it to a person like, let's say, just as an example, Sami Zayn. Give the championship to him. He's a bottom tier guy. And work with him to where you want him to. And then in 6 months, gets new. Quit giving it to the same old people. We're getting sick and tired of seeing it, Vince. You're shoved John Cena down our throat. I'm sorry to speak badly. I know the guy's battling cancer. I lost my mom to cancer. Quit shoving Roman Reigns down our throat. Get the good superstars in. So that's my comment for today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. If you don't, go ahead and give me a thumbs down. Please subscribe, and I will see you next week.